Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
Welcome to Nevada Newsmakers. On the broadcast today, my good friend Rick Velotta joins us. He's the tourism and gaming reporter for Las Vegas Review-Journal. So much to talk about. It's all coming up next on an all-new Nevada Newsmakers.
The Nevada Builders Alliance has been protecting the interests of the construction industry for over 50 years. Our programs save members thousands of dollars every year and allow them to provide much-needed benefits to their employees. Our industry also allows Nevada to grow. If you're thinking about a career in the construction industry, reach out. And if you haven't thought of a career in construction, what are you waiting for? We are the Nevada Builders Alliance.
2025 is bringing big changes for Nevada businesses. If you have more than 5 employees and have been operating for 3 years or more, you must now comply with new state retirement plan mandates. The Vegas Chamber 401k plan makes it easy, offering a proven, customizable, and cost-effective plan for employers and employees to save with tax advantages. Visit vegaschamber.com to explore options and see how the Vegas Chamber can help you start saving for your future.
As you know, Reno is booming. Toll's development company is helping it grow with insightful design and development, building community with every project, adding beauty, adding excitement, emphasizing our shared humanity. Reno is becoming bigger. Toll's development is helping it become better, more livable, more enjoyable. To learn more, go to tollsdevelopment.com. tollsdevelopment.com.
Like a traditional handmade basket, retail is woven into the fabric of life in Nevada. From big box to mom and pop, retail supports our communities in countless ways. Jobs for the disabled, team uniforms for kids, help for the elderly, and so much more. Retail employs over 1 in 10 workers. Retail supports Nevada, and we support retail.
RANNV.org.
This is Nevada Newsmakers with host Sam Shad, a no-holds-barred political forum. Now, from the Nevada Newsmakers broadcast headquarters, here is Sam Shad.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we are always delighted to welcome back to the program Rick Velotta. He is the tourism and gaming reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. Not much to talk about, Rick, in your field. Oh my goodness, it's been crazy the last couple of weeks. Welcome, sir.
I think things slow down during the summer, but they just don't.
Okay, let's take this point by point. So Tillman Fertitta is the largest stockholder in Wynn Resorts, right? 13+% of the stock. And now he's attempting to buy Caesars. And how does this play out? Because he wouldn't develop the patch of land he bought near the Cosmopolitan because that would conflict with his ownership in Wynn. Now he's going to buy Caesars. What is the scuttlebutt on how this plays out?
Well, it's obviously very complicated right now because I think all along a lot of people were expecting that the development on the strip near Cosmopolitan was going to be something that would be essentially bringing a new owner to the strip. He already owns downtown, but having him there, I think a lot of people were just anticipating that was the case. It's going to be a really tall building because he has such small footprint of land. So there was some anticipation for that. Well, then when he got into the Wynn stock and started to add shares, people started wondering, well, this is something that's different. What's this about? And it looked like maybe he was going to be making a play to acquire Wynn. That didn't pan out, or at least that's not something that we anticipated was going to occur. And now this. So it's been different every few months. We get some kind of a different rendition of what Tillman Fertitta is trying to do.
Well, and the irony is he's currently the United States ambassador to Italy and is divested from being involved in the day-to-day operations. His wife is running the ship, as it were. So, I mean, what's the scuttlebutt with people you're talking about and don't name names, obviously, but of how this could play out. Would he be forced to sell his stock in Wynn to be able to take over Caesars? Because there would be all kinds of conflicts. And then across the country, there are going to be places like Lake Tahoe where he owns a golden nugget. If he bought Caesars, then he'd also own the 2 Caesars properties at the lake. That would be 3 out of the 4 casinos. He'd have to divest there. What are you hearing?
There's definitely some divestment in the future, I would think, because I don't believe the regulator is going to allow that type of ownership, particularly up north. That's the one that's really problematic in terms of the way they look at it. Um, but there may also be some divestiture down here too on the strip, just because of the ownership that he has on what it's 9 properties that Caesars owns. If he were to become owner of that, I would not be surprised to see him offload at least one of those properties. Which one it is, nobody seems to have a firm guess as to which one it could possibly be, or if there are multiples involved. But it seems like this is something that's going to play out at least for a year, because that's how long it's going to take for some of these regulators to take a look at some of the issues that are involved, and whether that involves the northern properties or just the south. I think that there's just a lot of things that have to be worked out and talked through. Which way is it going to go? In my opinion, I would suspect that at least one of the properties in the Lake Tahoe area would be sold to somebody else. I would think that it's very possible that one of the properties on the strip would be sold as well.
Well, one of the things that is going to happen here is that he would be taking Caesars private, and some of the senior management of Caesars, formerly El Dorado, would put their equity into the new company. Have you heard any more on that?
Well, we've talked a lot in our newsroom about the pros and cons of going private. And it seems like there's a lot more flexibility for the company to do some of the things it wants to do, because it doesn't have shareholders looking over their shoulder, public shareholders at least. So to that end, it probably makes sense to do that. But at the same time, it takes away a lot of the reporting that the company has to do. And so the public is not going to be quite as informed as to what the status is of that company, unless they want to produce some kind of detail about it.
Well, it's interesting because the stock price a couple of years ago, after the El Dorado took over Caesars, was over $100. And people at Caesars were ecstatic at that, because the stock price had gone through the roof, despite the amount of debt that they carry. Now the stock has dropped significantly by about 75%. So taking it private now, and then not having Wall Street looking over your shoulder every quarter, being able to make some longer term plans, and then I presume coming back with an IPO down the road. Does that make sense?
That's a possibility as well, as to try to right the ship before going public again. But I think that there's still so many advantages to Tillman Fertitta to just keep it private. So we may not see any public offerings in a long time on that. Could be wrong on that. I'm no expert in terms of stock market, but at the same time, it's something that I'm sure is wandering around in the backs of everybody's minds as they go through the process of vetting this transaction.
Kirk Kerkorian was famous, according to Phil Satry on this program, for not falling in love with his assets, which is why he built these magnificent hotels and then had no problem selling them. Tillman Fertitta owns over 600 restaurants, along with his casino empire, the Houston Rockets. He has an incredible portfolio. It doesn't sound to me like he's one to buy and sell.
Well, that may be the case, and only Tillman knows. But at the same time, um, I think that he's whip smart businessman, right? So um, I'm sure that he's been strategizing about this while he does his ambassadorial duties in terms of what's going to happen next. But um, and he's got time also to figure out what he wants to do. Um, I think that if push came to shove, he could resign as the ambassador to Italy. Not something he wants to do right now. Certainly not something that we're anticipating in the next few in the next few months. But at the same time, if he has opportunity and that's what's going to be required to do it, I'm sure he would do it.
Would he be forced to sell his stock and win?
I'm not sure whether he would or not. I would assume that the regulators would have something to say about that. Um, but at this point in time, I've not heard anything that would indicate that he would have to sell off shares.
Okay. All right. So, if this weren't enough, and darn it should be, then you've got Barry Diller. Now, it initially sounded like he was making a play to take over MGM, but in the last week, according to your reporting, that's not exactly what's going on. He's looking more for seats on the board. How is this playing out? Explain it to me, please.
It's one of those things where he's been a long time MGM supporter, and he's been a long time board member, long time, relatively speaking, I guess. But I think again for him, um, he's kind of doing the same thing that Tillman Fertitta is doing, and that's assessing what the best play is going to be. And again, we're talking about privatization. We're talking about the possibility that um, the majority of the properties on the strip are going to be under private ownership as opposed to public ownership, which is a kind of a shift for us here. But at the same time, I think that one of the things that Barry Diller has going for him is that he is not quite as strung out over a number of different properties across the country, and therefore he would be able to do. He'd be a lot more flexible in being able to do some of the things that he wants to do.
Now, does Vici, the real estate investment trust, not own the land under the majority of these Caesars and MGM properties?
They do.
So essentially, what Mr. Fertitta and Mr. Diller would be doing is buying the business, but not the land.
Right, and I think that that's been the strategy all along on both of those, because the owning the land is it's not as critical, I think, as owning the management of the company, and that's what they're more interested in. Certainly, there are going to be some issues involved in the fact that there's another player that owns the actual ground, but they're just one more voice in the discussion, I think.
Um, yeah, I mean, it's such a fascinating scenario. The
A lot of moving parts.
Oh my goodness, yes. Now, one of the other things that came up in the last, I mean, this has all been happening in the last couple of months. It's astonishing. The gaming numbers as a percentage of the money coming into these properties has now dropped below 30%. I believe it's around 28%. It was around 32%. Other properties around the country operate at 60% of the revenue is gaming versus 40% everything else. Now you've got over 70%. So does this make Las Vegas no longer a gambling mecca versus being sports, entertainment, hotel, food, etc.?
I think ever since the first time that we started seeing the gaming numbers drop and the other stuff rise, that's been the case. A lot of people, Las Vegas is always going to be associated with gambling, But as far as being the most important asset in a portfolio, I think those days were long gone years ago. So even though I think the perception is among people that, hey, I'm going to go to Las Vegas and play slot machines and sit at table games, that's something that people will still do. That it's not the most important reason why people come here. They come here for shows. They come here for entertainment. They come here for the food. They come here for the sports. Um, and with the arrival of the Las Vegas Raiders and with the Vegas Golden Knights doing as well as they do, the fact that we might have an NBA franchise and we're going to get a Major League Baseball franchise, sports is even more of an impact on the bottom lines of these properties than ever before. So even though we're not the gambling mecca of the world, I think that honor went to Macau a long time ago.
Yes.
It's just the fact that there's so much other things to do that people are willing to spend their money on that is more important to the traveling public. And we're seeing more and more people coming here as a result of those things, as opposed to the gambling.
I want to get back to MGM for just a second here. One of the things that just struck me almost immediately was beyond Las Vegas, MGM is developing this, over $10 billion resort in Japan. I wonder what the Japanese authorities are thinking about that.
They are probably watching it very closely, but they are so deep into the development of the Osaka property that I think that there's no turning back on that. MGM management may face some tough questions, but I don't see that as being a roadblock towards what's going on there. Although, you have administrations that change in the government that have different outlooks on what they want to do. But I think that we're past the point of no return on that.
Yeah, and I know that the Japanese authorities have been visiting Nevada to meet with our regulators so that everybody's on the same page. So I would imagine that whatever comes out of Nevada will be okay with what's going on in Japan. Let's take a break. Much more to talk to. We could do 5 shows here today. He doesn't have time, but I'd love to. We'll be right back with Rick Velotta after this timeout.
Meet Nevada Health Link, Nevada's official health insurance marketplace. Your link to savings, selection, free assistance, and name brand health insurance, where 90% of enrollees lower the cost of their monthly premium. Everyone deserves access to quality health coverage, no matter your income or family size. Visit NevadaHealthLink.com. A few minutes could save you hundreds of dollars per month.
Nevada Health Link. Our plans are made for your plans.
The trucking industry is the most resilient link in the supply chain. And for over 90 years, the Nevada Trucking Association has been the voice for the men and women in the trucking industry. From Carson City to Washington, D.C., we advocate for policies to protect our trucking companies and keep commerce flowing. Because Nevada's and America's prosperity is tied to trucks. There's nothing without trucking.
Welcome to Story County, where history meets innovation and a pioneering spirit continues to shape our future. At the heart of the Tahoe Reno Industrial Center, we power the future with global leaders in technology and manufacturing, driving progress that reaches far beyond our county lines. From advanced manufacturing to tech innovation, our industries are creating thousands of quality careers, fueling a vibrant economy that benefits every Nevadan. Our community is our foundation. Be part of a legacy built on bold ideas and boundless possibilities. Story County, helping build Nevada's future.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rick Velotta. He is the tourism and gaming reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. So now let's talk about Las Vegas Sands in Texas. Now, and to point out that even though the ownership of Las Vegas Sands owns the Las Vegas Review-Journal, as we've mentioned on the program before, that doesn't give you a leg up on reporting on this story, and they don't interfere with what you do. So I appreciate that. But they've been trying to get into Texas for the longest time. And a local newspaper in Texas did, and I'm sorry, I don't remember the name of the paper, but they did a great story.
Dallas Morning News.
Was it the Dallas Morning News? Did that expose on all the Oklahoma tribes that are actually operating in Texas. So what the heck is going on there where the Texas state government is saying no to legalizing gaming, despite all that Las Vegas Sands has done? At the same time, they have these Oklahoma tribes operating casinos in Texas.
But yeah, it's kind of a, and the thing is that some of the administration of the Texas Lieutenant Governor's office, he hates this, right? I mean, the fact is that they don't want any kind of gambling of any sort in the state of Texas, but these maneuvers that the tribes have been able to pull off kind of gotten around that. And certainly this is something that Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick has looked at, and certainly the governor has looked at. It seems like it's impossible for Texas to avoid introducing some kind of legal commercial gambling at some point in time. I don't think it's going to happen under the current administration, but Las Vegas Sands has put out too many carrots for them to ignore it with these different ideas about mega resorts in multiple cities in the state of Texas, which would bring in not just gaming revenue, but would bring in tourism in the form of conventions. When you have a big convention center in Dallas, Houston, San Antonio, and Austin, I mean, that's something that speaks to revenues that they have not had before, and they can have. They've also put out the carrot of building an arena for the Dallas Mavericks. Interesting fact is that the Dallas Mavericks have a good ownership piece there with the Las Vegas Sands. So, there's a lot of things that Sands behind the scenes, or maybe not even behind the scenes, but in plain sight, are doing that make people in the state say, well, maybe this isn't such a bad idea to have this. But the lieutenant governor particularly, and certainly the Senate in the state of Texas, are adamant that it's not going to happen under their watch.
Well, what's wild is that one Oklahoma tribe has the largest casino in the country, and
people don't realize that.
Oh my goodness! I mean, that was just a great article. People should seek that out. Anyway, let's take another break, and we'll come back more with Rick Velotta after this timeout.
Stack up the wins during Carson Valley Inn's Summer Toys and Big Cash giveaways. Cash drops every Thursday and Saturday with over 450 winners. Plus, win a new side-by-side or $12,000 in cash at each event. Free wheels, free play, and bigger thrills. Only at Carson Valley Inn.
We're the Peters family, 2 combat veterans, our daughter Elle, and our Liberty Dogs puppy in training, Cooper.
Cooper will grow up to be a life-changing companion to a veteran with visible or invisible challenges.
We're helping Cooper build focus and confidence so he's ready to support his veteran.
And we know he will help bring happiness and independence to his veteran's life.
So join us, become a puppy raiser, and change lives, one puppy at a time.
At Nevada Urban Indians in Reno, your health is our priority. Our medical clinic welcomes everyone. We accept all insurances, ensuring quality care is within reach. Nevada Urban Indians, your partners in health.
Southwest Specialties has been making the homes and businesses of Nevada beautiful for more than 20 years. Their experienced designers and craftsmen create the walkways, backyards, water features, and a variety of outdoor cooking areas that add curb appeal and value to your investment. Call today or visit them at their website and see how they can make your outdoor spaces special. Southwest Specialties, creative, distinctive, beautiful.
This is Nevada Newsmakers.
And back on Nevada Newsmakers, we continue our conversation with Rick Velotta. He is the tourism and gaming reporter for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. You know, it's been so interesting to see how the gaming industry in Las Vegas initially responded to all the attacks about being overpriced, and now everybody is cutting deals. What do you make of this, and how long do you think it's going to last?
I think it'll last as long as they perceive that people are not coming. But you're right. They're bundling a lot of things. They're putting packages together that include a stay component, an entertainment component, and a food component. Once one of them started doing this, I think that the first one really was downtown. But once one of them started doing it, they all said, "Whoa, that's a great idea. Let's do that too." And so it's been nonstop that we've been seeing all these types of bundling deals that have shown up. And as long as people are still coming, I think they're going to continue to do that. They might put a deadline on it that says, well, we're going to stop doing this at the end of summer, but it wouldn't surprise me if that went on into fall and even later than that.
I think it's going to go until the first big convention comes to town. The whole town is sold out and everything goes through the roof. Rick Velotta, always love having you on the program, sir. It's always a pleasure. Thank you.
Thanks for having me, Sam. It's been a great time.
You're always welcome, and we'll be right back.
Hear ye, hear ye. All hail the $75,000 Cash is King giveaways at Tamarack Casino. Rule the kingdom with cash giveaways every Thursday and Saturday. And live royally with up to $10,000 in winnings every week. Eat, play, win. Your good times are at Tamarack Casino.
Imagine a magical garden that feeds Carson City's hungry and homeless, teaches our high school students agriculture, creates hanging floral displays to beautify downtown, and yet charges nothing. It's not magic. It's the Greenhouse Project. It's real, it's growing, and it needs your help. Go online to carsоncitygreenhouse.org so together we can grow it forward.
Welcome to the Ahern Boutique Hotel, where luxury and warmth come together in the heart of Las Vegas.
We take pride in offering a one-of-a-kind experience for both locals and tourists.
Join us for handcrafted cocktails and an unforgettable experience.
Joel's Chop House, the perfect place to savor views of the Las Vegas Strip.
Satisfy your cravings at the Ahern Chocolate Shop.
No smoking, no resort fees, and the parking is always free. The Ahern Luxury Boutique Hotel is your home away from home.
Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers. You can catch up on the last 24 years of Nevada Newsmakers by going to our website. Over 2,600 shows available there. Plus, you can also download audio and video podcasts and watch us on YouTube. We'll see you on the next broadcast. Thanks for watching Nevada Newsmakers.